Hello! Say hi. Why not?
No.
Oh, hi.
But I thought you were going to launch
Welcome to another shite video by me.
This is a successful start, I have to say.
It's a very successful start. I'm sorry, I've never done anything like this on my channel before. So today we're going to be talking about some Paul McGann stories because we're fucking neckbeards like that. And today I have my good friend...
Well, I don't know about you, Brian, but I'm incapable of growing a beard, and I do believe Harry is as well.
You game it.
I'm joined by my good friend Dylan, or Lord Slarr, as he's known on YouTube. And I'm also joined by Harry. I'm not even gonna use his YouTube name because he'll probably change it by the time this video is released.
I don't even get why that's a meme. I've changed it once, and everyone seems to think I changed my YouTube name every 10 days or something.
That's exactly why it's become a meme. He got so salty about us.
Anyway, so yeah, we're going to be talking about the Divergent universe, which is a somewhat controversial topic among...
Controversial.
I don't know fan consensus on it, so I went in completely fresh, and I'm still pretty fresh on it. So, yeah, I'm just going to say what I like.
Anyway, some people hate it.
Nobody's influenced my thoughts.
A lot of people hate it.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but I was only aware of that after I'd listened to it, or at least by the time I was...
Some people like it. I am personally one of the people who like it. What do you think of it, Harry?
I like it.
Dylan?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So,
I mean,
we all like it. We're gonna pick it apart in this video.
There's only like 2 stories that I would consider bad in it, so...
Well, you'll need to go back over the stories to make it all come back to me. I mean, we're gonna just go one by one with the stories in order.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Okay, so quick recap. I think Dylan is the one who listened to series 1 and 2 most recently. So Dylan, why don't you tell us why Charlie and the Doctor end up in the Divergent universe?
Alright, so there's something about people who got in Arc of Infinity, they get dematerialized from time and they end up in this place called Neverland, and then they try to get back with Anti-Time and Zagreus, and then they become evil and infect the Doctor. And then what happens is they have to go to this universe so the Zagreus energy doesn't destroy everything. It's something like that. Can't remember it very well.
Yeah, it is kind of convoluted.
But it's not necessarily that convoluted. It was like the summer I listened to series 2, I think.
It's very Alice in Wonderland.
Basically, Brian just asked you to describe Zagreus in about 2 sentences.
That's true. I think my attempt was pretty admirable.
I think you got most of it down.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about Arc of Infinity because that's when they try to execute the Doctor in the fashion that is referenced in Neverland. Yeah. Which is the reason why there are people in the Anti-Time place in the first place.
Well, doesn't the Doctor actually end up in the Matrix or some shit for some reason? Because Omega fucked around?
Something about the Matrix. I don't remember it.
What?
There was a lot went on in Neverland and Zagreus.
And Arc of Infinity.
I mean, obviously...
Oh, and also there was something to do with Charlie breaking the web of time. I believe they were climbing inside her to get to the other universe.
Well, that got a bit weird, Dylan.
Climbing inside Charlie. That doesn't sound familiar.
Well, I think climbing inside Charlie is a perfect segue leading to Scherzo.
Yeah.
The Doctor and Charlie do climb inside each other in that story.
Exactly.
So.
Before we actually get to the stories, what do you think of how our main characters are portrayed in the Divergent universe? That the main characters being the Doctor, Charlie, Cruz, Croca, and Rassilon.
Well, the Doctor, he's very good because Paul McGann. Charlie feels a little redundant. She doesn't seem to be going anywhere as a character since she's already kind of had a huge arc and stuff. I feel like they've done a little more with her. She's still good, but does feel a little redundant. Keriz, I quite like him. Not the greatest thing ever, but he does get some decent scenes, get some decent development. Kroger, he doesn't really get enough screen time, to be honest. I mean, I know we're not seeing this on the screen, but I don't have a proper feel for him, to be honest. And it just kind of feels like he becomes important out of nowhere. There was a point where I felt like I'd missed something just because he randomly started being in more and more. And then Rassilon, he's pretty good. Liked him here much better than he is in Yuku.
I think it's probably the best portrayal of Rassilon, and I really like.
Yeah.
What's the actor called again?
I think his name's Don Warrington.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, who played the president in the Cyberman stories in Yuhu.
Oh, that is that guy, isn't it?
It is. I was quite excited when I found out about that.
Yeah.
So excited I even rewatched Rise of the Cybermen.
Oh, that one's a pretty good episode. Yeah. Apart from the stupid moments.
Which there are a lot
of. He's probably the best portrayal of Rassilon I've seen.
I agree.
I don't know about you, but
I mean, what was his name in The End of Time? He had a very good voice, but he was absolutely crap Rassilon just because of the writing.
He was the guy from Hot Fuzz. He was the manager from Hot Fuzz who owned the Summerfield.
Timothy Dalton.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
See, I'm not useless after all. But yeah, he was alright, but this Rassilon's definitely better because he's actually characterized well and he has a good voice.
Yeah, and the Doctor in Scherzo, however you say it, is probably the most like the 10th Doctor that I've seen of the 8th Doctor so far.
That has too many negative connotations, and I really liked Paul McGann in that story.
Yeah, I think Scherzo's a bit of a divisive story. I don't know. Most
I
people
love Scherzo. Like I love it.
I mean, it's definitely Rob Shearman's worst script, Big Finish, but
I know I haven't heard all the scripts.
My opinions on the characters are... I'll do the Doctor last because I have a bit of an issue with him. Charlie, I agree with Dylan. She is a bit redundant. She doesn't really have anything more to do. Kriz could have been developed a bit more. That's just,
it is a bit scattershot,
that's just generally, in the future, he doesn't really get development either. I actually really like Croker. He was the highlight.
Well, he's a good character. I just kind of feel like he comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
No, because
he was but for me, he was definitely a highlight. I just really enjoyed his character. So when Caradrora comes around, I was basically pissing my pants with excitement.
Yeah, I really like him in Caradrora.
Rassilon, best portrayal of Rassilon, in my opinion. It's pretty good. Don Warrington's voice is amazing.
Yeah.
And
well, that's
the Doctor.
Alright, yeah.
Now, the sort of emo, I hate everything act, that worked in Scherzo. I did like that, but a bit of that carries over to the next couple stories, and that's just not Paul McGann's Doctor for me. Do you know what I mean?
I honestly didn't notice that at all. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not sure if I just wasn't paying enough attention.
I will give it credit, though, because it does set up Paul McGann being a bit grumpier later on in later stories, but
he certainly was a bit grumpier, but I thought that was a good thing, because I like grumpy bastards, being one myself.
The reason for that is because he was trapped in another universe with no prospect of getting back to his own.
And it was like having a limb cut off because you can't feel time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. My issue has been resolved.
Right, okay. You better send a message of please forgive me to Paul McGann.
I agree with Dylan. I'll put that on my list of things to do before I die. But later on, when Paul McGann remains a bit grumpier, even when he's back in his own universe, I like the fact that the Divergent universe is what actually sets that up.
Yeah. On another subject of the Doctor, I really like in Paul McGann's performance in Cade Royer as well, because I think that captures the different personalities of his Doctor very well, and Paul McGann really does pull it off.
Well, let's get a... Should we get a Cadroyer once we get a Cadroyer? Because I thought we were going to do the stories in order.
Yeah,
so we can cover them all.
Let's start going through the stories now.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of already talked about Scherzo, but I suppose we can go a little more in depth. So why do you think it's like the worst Sherman script then, Harry?
Yeah, Harry, explain your reasoning.
Well, because I just think it's still very good, but it's I think stories like Chimes and The Holy Terror, and well, I've only listened to about half of Jubilee, but I think they're just a bit better, to be honest.
That's true.
I do agree with that. It's definitely his weakest story.
Objectively, Chimes is better, but honestly, so far, Scherzo's been my favourite 8th Doctor adventure. I like really weird creative shit, and this was really weird creative shit, so it was the right thing for me. It was strange, and it played to me like that. I enjoyed it.
I just don't think Scherzo got to me on an emotional level like Chimes did.
Oh, they both got me on an emotional level. I quite liked... I thought the Doctor's reaction to being loved in that kind of way was much more like how the Doctor would take it than it was in the 10th Doctor era.
Yeah, I think...
kind of just being a bit annoyed about it and trying to just go, shoo, shoo.
I think Stu Bagful commented on that in his retrospective video. He said, that's how a Doctor-companion love plot should be done.
Exactly.
It's like 8 and Charlie are the way Rose and 10 should have been done.
What was that noise?
No. Well, because I think if they did it in exactly the same way, it makes Scherzo redundant in that way.
I don't think Brian's saying doing it in exactly the same way, but he's just saying
do
something
it in
more like that.
Do it in a similar way. Don't make the characters whiny bastards.
You're just saying that's the way the Doctor would act.
Yes,
Tennant is not acting the way the Doctor would act.
That's what I'm saying, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't listened to Scherzo since July/August.
Scherzo... Now, I will give Scherzo a point for actually hitting me on an emotional level, because though I do like the other Sherman stories and I really do think they're awesome, Scherzo's the only one that has really hit me like that.
I think The Holy Terror.
Well, you see, not much really hits me on an emotional level, but honestly, I don't consider that the most important thing. The most important thing I consider is got some great ideas that really interest me.
It does have some great ideas.
That's probably why Jubilee is... Well, actually, no, I kind of say Holy Terror is my favourite Sherman story, but objectively, kind of... From a very strange point of view in my mind, Jubilee is the best Sherman script, even though I like Holy Terror more. If you know what I mean.
Well, Scherzo...
yeah.
Well, Scherzo... The problem with Scherzo is the novelty of it wears off. It gets repetitive after a certain point.
I don't think it did for me. All the way through, I was like, oh yeah, this is great.
That's my main issue with it. No, I do think it's a great story, but it does get a bit repetitive and a bit slower once you get into part 3.
And this is the best of the Divergent arc, I might add.
I think the big stories that I enjoyed a bit more, but I would agree on like a script level. Yeah,
I
agree
would
with that
too.
So we should move on to the next one.
Yeah,
then.
Treat of the
No. Before I just want to say something about Scherzo. I'd say that the sound design in this story is probably the best the Divergent arc and some of the best
True.
finishes.
Yeah, I do.
I agree
with that.
Well, I mean, considering the
Well,
alien, well, not the alien, but like it's all about sound.
Yeah, considering the story relies on sound, it's got to have some great sound design to
but
it.
throughout the whole thing, there's that like droning noise in the background,
Yeah.
and it's really effective.
There's
Like,
there's also
If
a
you
little
know me-
bit of an echo effect when
If you know
Charlie.
me, you know I like droning noises in the background of my Doctor Who, like no matter what episode it is.
Dylan, you're a droning noise in the background.
Oh, fucking Harry, you bellend.
Okay, I think we should move on to Creed of the Kramen. And I actually have a little story about this story.
Do tell, do tell.
Okay, so I ordered the CD of Creed of the Kramen when I was going through the Eighth Doctor sale, one of them, and I picked up.
Did you listen to it out of context?
No, I didn't. I had
I listened to Zagreus out of context.
Sure, so
I just want to tell you that.
Creed of the Kramen, Natural History of Fear, and Twilight Kingdom together. And, because I live in America, a couple weeks go by, and there's no sign of Creed of the Kramen. Then I finally get the package from Big Finish, and I open it up. It's Twilight Kingdom.
Again.
I ordered Creed of the Kramen on CD, and I got Twilight Kingdom instead.
Hooray!
My heart bleeds for you, Brian.
I agree with that, Harry. Well, after that riveting story, which, I'm going to be thinking about throughout my sleep, I'll probably dream about the same horrifying experience happening to me.
It was
Thoughts
terrible.
on Creed of the Kramen.
Okay, yeah.
It's not as good as Scherzo. I didn't enjoy it as much, and it's one of the stories that I would, two stories in the Divergent arc that I would give a meh to. I don't think the story is very effective, and just to be honest, I just thought it was a bit crap.
Well,
The thing is, Creed of the Kramen is absolutely despised by most fans. That's one thing I do know about fan consensus. Like, this is one that's despised. I'm not sure why. It wasn't the best, but it was.
It's not that
enjoyable.
I
Yeah.
liked Creed of the Kramen.
I wouldn't go as far as saying that I liked it. I just enjoyed it.
Well, the reason I like it is because, as I think I said earlier in the video, Kriz doesn't get much character development, and he's definitely at his darkest here, and what I think is his best. So I like this story because Kriz is really good in it, and I'd have liked to see more of the Kriz we saw in Creed of the Kramen in later stories.
The only thing that I actually thought was good about the story was like the body horror stuff, and
yeah, that was brilliant.
and it's definitely Philip, whatever he's called. I've forgotten his last
Philip
name.
Hinchcliffe. How can you forget Hinchcliffe?
No, not
fake
Philip
fan.
Hinchcliffe. It's not
Alright.
Philip Hinchcliffe.
Oh.
Dick.
Well, body
Philip
horror.
Martin.
Oh,
Philip Martin.
what, Syl? Oh wait, not Syl. Sorry.
When he
No,
wrote
that's
it.
the writer.
Yeah, it's definitely his worst script for Doctor Who. Although I haven't heard.
Wait, whoa,
the
whoa!
big-
Philip Martin wrote that.
Yeah.
Ah, didn't know that. See, I thought you were talking about body horror in relation to Philip Hinchcliffe, because Philip Hinchcliffe liked his body horror, but yeah, sure. I didn't know that was written by Philip Martin, so...
But
Alright.
yeah, I like it mainly because I do like the idea of the villains. I like that general idea, though it's not done very well. The idea is pretty good.
I like the idea of it, but
And
it's
Kriz is
not
at his
executed
best
well.
in this story, so...
Anyway, I think it's time to move on to the next one.
Natural History of Fear, my favorite Paul McGann audio.
Oh, something lovely.
Natural History of Fear is my favorite Paul McGann audio.
It's not that good.
I love it to bits.
I can understand why you would. I mean, it was so strange, but again, I really like strange.
Well, I think I listened to it at just the right time because, you know, America at the moment. So that's why I think that plays a huge factor. It's very dystopian, and I feel like
I almost wasn't even sure if I'd liked
Politics
it
is
when I
fun.
first listened to it.
Yeah.
It's just so odd. But after a while, when my thoughts settled down, I was like, okay, I did actually really like that.
that twist at
I
the
mean,
end,
but-
though.
Yeah.
I've forgotten what the twist was. What
They're
was the
not
twist?
actually the characters. They actually turn out to be these spider people.
Oh, right. I think I was like in Portugal or something. I was walking somewhere, so I don't really think I was like.
I was
sitting there like,
walking through
whoa,
town.
really?
Oh well, my main problem is it just seemed like things just happened without reason, and I was just a bit confused, to be honest.
I
so
think
was
the
I.
beginning
I agree
of
with the conclusion.
the beginning of part 3, I think it was, confused me a bit because there's this scene where I think he's not the doctor in this story because he really isn't the doctor. Paul McGann's character is in a warehouse, and India Fisher's character is like giving him this real trippy beach dream. It's pretty fucked up.
Um,
Paul McGann's all like,
the story.
what the hell is going on?
Alright
What
then.
was that? Brian's went saying, everybody, I shall now annex his channel.
There was some pretty meta stuff in it that I wasn't quite sure if it was trying to be meta or not.
There's
But
the trippy dream sequences, which there were quite a few, confused me a bit because then it picked up and you were in a totally different place from where you were before the trippy dream sequence happened. There wasn't a really good transition. That's probably my biggest problem with it.
I think the easiest thing to say is that it's going to be a love it or hate it story, and
Yeah.
it's confusing, and you're going to need to listen to it more than once.
I listened to it once and
I listened to it once.
Well, I didn't.
And like I said
Well,
in my Paul McGann impression, Paul McGann's character, he's even like, what the hell is going on right now? At certain points in the story.
Pretty sure Paul McGann was too.
It's just,
I think the person who wrote the script was, to be honest.
Oh, just bullshit my way through this.
just
Gary Russell.
bullshit my way through this section.
Wait, it was Gary Russell. So I'm correct. I'm correct then. Sorry, Gary. I'm sorry, Gary. I'm just joking. It's a good script.
Anyway, I think on to the Twilight Kingdom now, and does anybody actually remember anything from this story?
I like it.
I do.
I thought it was
remember
alright.
it, but
Part
I
4
remember
is
it, but
pretty good.
Good.
No, I like the whole
The
thing,
rest
to be
was
honest.
crap. The only
I
good
mean,
thing about it was Michael Keating.
Oh, it's so forgettable.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just a bit crap.
I liked it.
I couldn't even get into it. It was practically unlistenable.
I really liked the concept, and I thought it was done well
Yeah,
at a
the
nice slow pace.
Then you'd
concept's
probably
good.
consider Scaredy Cat a mediocre story.
I know. Well, this is coming from the person who likes the censor rights, so you know you don't have to trust me on
Hey,
everything.
I like the sense rights too, man.
Oh, you're a brother, man. I do like the Dominators as well, but I don't think that's objectively good, unlike the censor rights.
I need to watch that at some point.
Oh, well, it's a bit of fluff. Fun fluff.
I like fun. I'm a fun person.
Yeah, well, I hope you like Quarks and Dominators and Patrick Troughton and Fraser Hines. If you don't, then you should probably stay away.
I love Fraser Hines and Patrick Troughton. Best 60s doctor and companion.
Yeah, the Twilight Kingdom is a nice concept, but
I did like that character. I've forgotten his name. Like, I was really sad when he, in the end, had to like die because I thought he was quite a nice character. I think it was, yeah. I really liked him. Yeah, exactly.
Basically,
He's a really nice character, you know.
I listened to Twilight Kingdom, couldn't get into it, didn't feel like re-listening to it because it was such a boring-ass story, and I don't remember anything from it.
It probably helped that I was doing like physical work, volunteering
Well, I was too.
while I was listening to it, which meant that it was kind of like, you know, there in the background. I imagine if I was listening to it on my bed, I might have been a bit more bored.
We all know what he meant by physical work.
Imagine listening to a Big Finish audio while you're having sex. That would be quite good.
There's an audio where
I mean,
Harry
all
gets
of life's
naked.
pleasures crammed into one experience.
There's an audio called Necromantia where Perry is nude.
Okay, well you can't see it though, so a bit of a rip-off.
And I think Aramem, I think Aramem gets raped in that one as well.
Oh,
It's a terrible story.
why did Big Finish have so many people get raped early on? I heard somebody gets raped and flip-flop as well.
Dylan, I think what you should be asking is why do the New Adventures, the Virgin New Adventures, have an obsession with making incidental characters get brain damaged and raped and stuff like that?
Harry, it's because of the Virgin New Adventures, and since they haven't had sex, they're like fantasizing about it, you know?
That's probably true.
Anyway, so Twilight Kingdom
I think
Twilight Kingdom has derailed this a bit.
I think next one is Faith Stealer. It's Faith Stealer.
Yeah, it's much better.
Faith Stealer's alright.
See,
basically that's been my opinion on all of them, but Scherzo. It's been alright, you know, enjoyable.
Faith Stealer is
great.
It's alright. A lot of people like it. I think it's okay.
I don't think it's anything outstanding. It's just a good listen. I don't see myself going back.
I listened to it while I was sick, and it was also the day after I listened to the Twilight Kingdom. So Twilight Kingdom put me out of my Big Finish listening mood. So I was having a hard time paying attention to Faith Stealer because of that.
I think Faith Stealer has a really good concept.
I think it has a good concept too.
Very interesting idea.
And I think it's one of the ones that plays around more imaginatively with the Divergent universe idea.
Yeah.
And well, it's really fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, right. I love like taking the big religion, how it takes the big religion. Yeah. It's brilliant.
Chris gets a bit more development, which is always
people
nice.
Start becoming the tourists, unprovoked, top notch.
Yeah, it is just a really fun story. It's got some funny moments where the Doctor and Charlie and Chris make a new religion called the tourists, as you just said.
My memory of the last two parts is a bit fuzzy.
It's quite reminiscent of how the Romans handled religion, where basically, you know, you could just worship whoever you wanted, and there was a lot of like, you know, oh, come and join our cult, or oh, come and join our religion, that kind of thing.
And am I wrong in thinking that this begins hinting at Chris's past, or
yes, this is the one that does that.
Right, yeah. It begins talking about his religion and stuff.
I have to say, I did not see like the twist about what he did as a monk coming.
No.
That going. I was like, oh bloody hell, that's dark.
Turns out Chris is a bit of a dick.
Well, it's not necessarily his fault, but it's violent, man.
Yeah.
I was going to make a reference to Absolution, but Dylan hasn't listened to that yet, so I don't.
I've started listening to it, so please don't ruin it. Even though I know what happens at the end, but please don't ruin it.
I will.
Please don't ruin it for me, Evie. Right. So, Faith Stealer. What's next? Is it the last?
It's
Yes,
Lost.
The
That's it.
Last.
The Last was very good.
Which
It
is
is very good, and
it's sort of a misleading title because it isn't the last.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically anything with like a dystopian world where everything's been destroyed is instantly my kind of thing. So
This story,
It wasn't hard
I
to
listened
sleep.
to it on the same day. I listened to Faith Stealer. Oh my god. This story, it's pretty fucking grim.
that's
yeah,
great.
and,
though.
Pretty morbid. It's great, but it's like if you're feeling terrible and you want to curl up in a corner and cry, you should listen to The Last.
Yeah, if you want to basically get to that point where you're ready to cut yourself, you know, The Last is for you.
The Last
It'll
is
remind you of how
definitely for you.
fucked we are as a species.
yeah, it's the one problem I have with it is that the first half isn't as good as the second half.
That's true.
That's definitely true.
The first half is just like average, and the second half is really good.
Well, honestly, I think all of it's quite good.
And the other thing is the end, but it ends really cheerfully, and I don't think that's.
Yeah. Reminds me a bit of Blake 7 Series 3.
It's sort of
where it's got
anticlimactic.
Because in Blake 7 Series 3, it's got loads of really good, really dark episodes, but it always ends on a stupid quip, and it really pisses me off, especially grossly inappropriate.
Children of Auron. Children of Auron is a story where the main bad guy commits infant.
Bad gal.
No, I can't listen to this. I haven't watched Blake 7 yet.
Oh, well, basically, some very dark stuff happens, and it ends on a joke about said dark stuff that happened about a minute
I've set my
previously.
headphones aside.
It's very funny in just how ridiculous it is.
That's true. What I always didn't find it funny. I was just like, oh, fuck off, please. I'm sick of these quips.
It's because it's got to be like Star Trek, hasn't it? Because they always ended on a laugh. It's like, oh, kids really love Star Trek. Let's end on a laugh.
But other than that, Series 3 of Blake 7 is really good. I mean, I still haven't listened to watched the finale. I just watched Death Watch today.
You guys done banging on about Blake 7 yet?
We will never be done, but for now, we shall pause.
Alright.
This is how this discussion is going to end, with us just rambling on about Blake 7.
But yeah,
Please don't cut it, Brian.
The last, it's very good if you're feeling sad. If you're sad, depressed, you've just gone through a breakup, listen to The Last. You want to kill yourself even more.
Yeah.
Top clip, man.
But,
Top clip.
So,
Top
what was the
notch.
next one? I can't remember.
The
Was
next-
it Kedroya?
I think the next one's Kerdrora.
Kedroya.
It's very different from the last. It's very fun.
It's very
light
fun.
hearted.
I love.
This is the 3 doctors where they're all the same doctor.
Yes,
Great.
it's
Yeah,
great.
But they're all different. They're all different aspects of that doctor.
There's
And,
the asshole
Yeah.
doctor, there's the dumb doctor, and then there's the one with the manners.
I mean, personally, I associated most with the asshole doctor.
Yeah, same, Harry, same.
Kind of felt sorry
Although
for the dumb one.
I did think that the opposite version of Paul McGann, which was the nice doctor, he was really funny.
He was funny, but I wouldn't want him going around trying to save my life because he's a bit of a hopeless tit.
Yeah, he's a bit naive.
But in a very endearing way.
Yeah.
I loved all 3 of them, to be honest.
Yeah, same. But I'm just saying the arseholes. He's my favourite.
Yeah.
So I identify with. I'm a tit. Actually, I'm not a tit, I'm an arsehole.
It's a very inventive story, and it's just so much fun. I don't see how you could dislike
Plus, the main villain of this story is Croker.
it. Yeah, it is, and it's the last time we see him apart from the end of.
No, he appears a bit in
life.
the next life.
Yeah, but the only good thing he does in that is the end.
That
his
is
end.
true.
Character.
We'll get to that once.
Well, there's that much more to
Once
say
we
on
get into
Kedroya.
the next life.
It's fun.
It's
There's
fun.
3
There's
doctors that are fun.
a picture of David Prowse
And
on the
there's
cover.
Wales, just like New Who, and this was 2005, I believe, wasn't it?
No, 2004.
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
Series 1 had an unhealthy obsession with whales.
yes, it did.
And now I think it's time to get to the very, well, what I think is the very
Underrated.
underwhelming finale
Underrated finale.
of the
Underrated.
Divergent universe. Since you guys like it, you can go first.
Well, first off, Paul Darrow.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Is there. Paul Darrow. I rest my case.
Yeah, I can't really fault Harry there. It has Paul Darrow in. That just gets it to 100 for me, you know?
Daphne Ashbrook's in it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Paul
but Paul
Darrow.
we were both Blake 7 weebs. I don't know if you can tell.
No, but seriously, it was a very good setup, very atmospheric, very fun episode. Just had a good time listening to it.
Yeah. And can I also talk about there's like the Divergent universe arc, and then there's like a sort of like theme of loops that goes throughout the whole arc.
Yeah.
Like there's a loop in Scherzer, there's the loop or Scherzer, there's a loop in
Yeah.
the last. There's just loops throughout it in different places, but I don't know. Let me look them over.
I think I was honestly expecting a bit too much out of it, and maybe that's why I don't like it very much.
They learned what they did wrong in Zagreus, and they did a much better job.
Yeah, it's definitely better than Grace.
Well, I frankly prefer Zagreus over the next life.
Oh,
but
what?
that's
Are you mad? I don't hate Zagreus, but come on, this is much better.
Mad as a hatter.
You're not mad as a hatter, you're fucking insane and a tit.
Yeah. Don Warrington's in it.
Don Warrington. See, my problem isn't with the actors. I think the actors are great. It's just this general story. It just doesn't interest me. Sort of a jungle.
I think it's very interesting.
The first part where we see a bit of Charlie's history. I love that because I love Charlie.
What about Paul Darrow, though?
Paul Darrow as Cruz's father. Come on, mate.
Come on. He was good.
Again, I don't have a problem with the actors, but the overall story...
I liked what they revealed about...
The jungle chase, it's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
I like Jungle Islands. Like, that always gets me. It's why I love the Anachronauts, which is a companion chronicles you should both really check out. It's brilliant.
Part 4 I really enjoyed. It was very climactic, and Zagreus returns.
Yeah, but...
With Croker and Rassilon.
Keep.
Didn't see it coming. Can't say I saw it coming. It's pretty good.
Keep.
And perfection.
I wasn't expecting Zagreus to return.
Keep is if you haven't listened to it, Keep is this creature that the Doctor and Charlie had to eat in Scherzer, I believe, and he's the one who killed all the Divergents, which is probably the most underwhelming.
Yeah, that is who Keep is.
That's the one thing I didn't like about this arc, like quite a lot, is how the Divergents. Oh, the Divergents, they're this big thing that's just kind of mentioned in passing, but they're dead because somebody else. And it's like, did we not even get to meet them?
No, it's just Keep, which has eaten them all.
They sort of appeared in Zagreus.
Oh yeah,
when they sucked in Rassilon.
Right, the other week I listened to a Fourth Doctor adventure called Destination Nerva. I don't know if either of you have listened to it.
I haven't heard that, but I've heard it's crap, and Tom Baker laughed when he saw the script.
It's pretty crap.
It's pretty crap, but the main villain in it is very similar to Keep, which was just a big thing he was ripping itself off, which I was a bit confused about.
But I quite liked Keep.
Yeah, Keep.
Like I said, my problem isn't with the actors or the characters, it's just the setting and the story that the characters are placed in.
Yeah, but Jungle Desert Islands, though? They're top clip.
Yeah, but the music The music.
The music is pretty good. I did.
The music was okay for the most part, but just I hate
A
that
lot
bit
of it was
where Rassilon was on screen.
A lot of the music.
Most of it is just Zagreus music.
Yeah, a lot of it's reused from Zagreus.
I haven't heard Zagreus in like ages, so I have no idea. Because I listened to Zagreus out of context, like I said earlier. Like, it was one of the first
that's a terrible idea. You're an idiot.
Oh well, I saw it and I thought it was a Four Doctors story. You know, this is back before I knew anything about Big Finish. Don't kill me.
Yeah, but the music from Zagreus was the best thing about it. So
I don't know. I quite like the part where the Fifth Doctor is Reverend Townsend.
Oh yeah, the crazy
that was
Reverend.
the best bit of the whole story, to be honest.
Yeah.
I kind of liked the Uncle Winky bit.
But that was just a bit
Wink.
because Sylvester
Walking
McCoy
Winko.
is not a good voice actor.
Yeah, I quite like the bit with Colin as the vampire with Charlie being Rassilon. That was interesting.
That
We've got to learn a bit more about Rassilon.
That was pretty interesting. Plus vampires.
Yeah, but Zagreus is just very underwhelming, having just listened to Neverland.
Yeah. And
I sort of considered them part of the same story. So,
well, you're wrong because they aren't part of the same story.
Yeah, Harry's right there. They're not part of the same story.
Part 2 and Part 1 of Zagreus sort of meshed together. Part 2 and Part 1. Part 2 of Neverland and Part 1 of Zagreus sort of meshed together in my head.
Well, I listened to Neverland afterwards, so there you go.
Well, I made sure I was listening to all the 8th Doctor stuff in order of release.
I didn't realise that it had an order. I just thought it was like all the other big finishes, where it'd just be like, you know...
Well, I used the 8th Doctor collected thing to listen to all the 8th.
You know, once I realised that, I made sure I listened to all of them in order.
So, I'm currently on the Company of Friends.
I'm only on Terra Firma. I listened to Next Life like over a week ago.
Harry's on Absolution, it seems.
I am. I started listening to it about 4 months ago, and I never got past part 1.
Oh wow, you must have really liked it.
No, it's not that. I just couldn't be arsed.
Part 1 of
you are pretty lazy.
I will say this, Harry. If you didn't like Part 1 is definitely the best part of Absolution.
It's not that. It's just that I had I'd listened to so much Big Finish in such a short period of time. By that point, I said fatigue and I just couldn't be bothered. So I was like listening to music on the way to college for a while. So.
Yeah, I took a break between The Girl Who Died and the EDA, the second series.
The
of
Girl
EDAs.
Who Died. You mean the ninth, the series 9 episode? Do you mean the girl who never was? By any chance?
Shut the fuck up. The Girl Who Never Was.
Anyway, I think we're finished discussing the Divergent arc.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
That's about it.
I mean, we should talk about this after he ends it. We don't want to have lots of rambling bollocks at the end.
No, we don't. Anyway, again, thank you for Harry and Dylan for coming on today. Their channel links will be in the description. Until then, this is Briarheart signing off. If you guys want to say goodbye, you go ahead.
Fuck
Bye.
you, bro.